Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. This is the Genomic special end of the day video. I'm a bit late today. I had some extra work to do before I could record this video, but suffice to say that the day was not great. Some of our genomic stocks have breached their support levels. Overall, it's looking messy. And I think that we might be turning around the corner. I'll talk about that when I look at the indices and the futures. But I don't know if that could still be applicable for genomics, because there are some really bad things happening in the FDA and the biotech sector from an investment perspective. So I have a news report to talk about out there. So all said and done, I'll try to keep it short and sweet. I value your time. And all that you need to do is subscribe to the channel. That's all. Nothing else is expected. We are not selling anything. I'll catch up with you after the disclaimer. Welcome back, friends. We are looking at the S&P 500 futures, and in the S&P 500 futures you can see that we have dropped below the closing of the day, and we are down 0.11%. But let that not fool you, because I'm thinking that we have retested this support even though we have not touched it. I think it's very close. If we have retested it, then I would give the benefit of doubt to the trend to move upwards tomorrow and meet the next resistance. So our immediate resistance right now seems to be 5,680.25, but maybe tomorrow when you wake up in the morning, we might be above that, in which case that will become the default support. And the next resistance is going to be 5,738.00, and this is going to be a very formidable resistance because the 9-day exponential also merges onto it. So it's going to be difficult to break through above that. So for tomorrow, the 9-day exponential is the upper limit at 5,694.27, and at the bottom we have the support out here at 5,636.00. I have drawn this target line for the bear flag, and that is 5152. I'm not discarding it yet, but I would like to see confirmation that we are not able to break through this horizontal line of resistance, because even if we broke this 9-day exponential and went up, then our next resistance is at 5,738.00, which sees the intersection of the 200-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. So they're all merging together. It's going to be absolutely difficult to break through. That said, MACD is still bullish, but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is picking up. So I give it the benefit of doubt for the morning trade. Then go to NASDAQ futures. NASDAQ futures are down 0.08%, and they are just below the closing for the day. And our resistance for tomorrow is going to be 19,746.00, which is again a very strong resistance because it coincides with the 9-day exponential, which is this thick red line that you see here. And at the bottom, we have heavy support, and the support is going to be at 19,547.25, which is this diagonal line of support intersecting the horizontal line of support, which is this red line out here. So jointly, they're going to give a good support. So I'm thinking that we'll be range bound between these two ranges, especially because I believe that the tariff details will all be unveiled after the markets close tomorrow. So I think the market is going to be in a wait and watch mode. So we can see a lot of volatility, but at the end of the day, it will be a thin body candle like this one. That's my expectation. Next, let us go to the 10-year yield, which continues to drop along this diagonal line of support from a previous bear channel where it was acting as a diagonal line of resistance. That has helped us, and in the post-market session we are doing much better. We are up 0.75%. so the verdict is out what's going to happen tomorrow, but I'm feeling comfortable that we are forming the head and shoulder pattern, and probably tomorrow could be a trigger that kind of sends us below. Let me draw this line out here. I'm going to draw a conceptual line which I think will have to perform the role of the neckline. So our neckline is going to be here. We touched it and we came out. We have to drop below the neckline. Once we drop below the neckline, then we are going to see our interest yields, 10-year yields drop right up to here. And this happens to be 3.56 3.561. So that's going to be what the yields will be once the head and shoulder is triggered. Next, let us go and look at genomics, which is what you guys are all here for. Genomics is a bloodbath out here, and we can see that IMTX has fallen off very seriously below this horizontal line of support, which is at 4.17. Just going to make this a little thick so that you can see it on your small screen. Momentum is at the bottom. MACD is also bearish. No hopes there. I'm going to convert this into a line of resistance, and then I'm looking at prime. Prime is down. It's below this diagonal line of support where it was for the last 3 days. This line of support helped us out, but now it has fallen below, and our next support is going to be this line out here, making it a little thicker, and this also I'll make it a little thicker so that you can see clearly. Our support is going to be at 1.72 tomorrow, and our resistance is going to be this diagonal line of resistance at 1.96 tomorrow. Those are the two ranges within which we are going to operate for prime. If you look at beam therapeutics, it has dropped off the chart. It's gone below the horizontal line of support, which was at 19.06, and our next support is at 15.01. So that's where we have the next support. I wouldn't be surprised if we fell there all at once. That's quite a possibility. And just let us draw this line here and go back here. So this was the support which pushed us up today. But tomorrow, if we break this support, this will become a resistance and this will become a support. So 17.44 is our support right now, which potentially could become a resistance tomorrow. And then the ultimate support will be 15.01. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen for beam. Verve Therapeutics is down 9.52 today, and it has fallen below this horizontal line of support, which I'm going to mark red. That was at 4.37, and it's now converted into a resistance. So that's what we have. Now let us see if we can plot any more resistances. Nothing at all. So it's greenfield from here. We have no clue what's going to happen. So let us try and see if we can find a clue from somewhere else. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some trend lines to see if any trend lines can give us a guidance. I'm just trying to imagine a trend line that can fit perfectly and still give us some kind of a guidance. So this is one trend line with 2 touch points, 3 touch points, and this will be 3.01, but I don't think we're going to drop so much tomorrow. And I would like to draw another trend line as well, and I'm going to take all of them lead here. So I'm just going to discard this one. This is going to be our next support, and it's 3.03 if it comes to tomorrow. But with every passing day, the support is going to keep on going down as per the slope that we have out here. So that's what I have. And let's go on to the next one, Caribou Biosciences. Caribou has fallen off the diagonal line of support, and I'm going to make this a little thicker for you, and I'm going to change the color to red. Now it's going to drop further. We're going to plumb new depths for this one. So we don't have any lines of support or resistance out here because it's all a new area for us. Unicure is getting a little bit of support from this diagonal line of support, but what I have understood with technical analysis is that the more you hit this area, the line becomes weaker. So I think it's about a matter of time that we are going to fall below this, and that could happen tomorrow because MACD is weak and the momentum is also below average. And we have this gap down which is going to act as a magnet pulling us up. But the fact remains that we are below all the exponential moving average, and we have formed multiple death crosses out here which are very bearish. And therefore, I'm thinking that Unicure is going to drop down tomorrow, and this diagonal line of support will become a diagonal line of resistance, in which case I think our next support will happen to be out here, and that is 7.92. So 7.92 is the next support. And if you look at Intelia, Intelia was down 6.40 today. It has already fallen below this diagonal line of support, and we had projected that it will fall all the way up to 6.52. It's at 6.66. So it has got still a few more to drop for the bare minimum, and I don't see any other resistance that I can plot here. We don't have any lines of support from the past, because price has never gone this low. Next, let's look at Allogene, which was down 6.16%, and it managed to get a support out here because I think earlier we had been able to bounce off from this point. So this has acted as a support at 1.36. We are at 1.37. So for us tomorrow, this is the support, and our resistance is going to be 1.47. Next, we look at Altimmune. Altimmune has had a gap down, so it's going to act as a magnet pulling it upwards. But at the same time, for Altimmune, I think we will have some support lines that we can draw. And let me see if I can spot any of them out here. This could be a line of support because we had a gap up and a gap down. So I'm going to mark two lines out here, and we'll take it from here. Let's go undo. Let's go and see where we are. Okay, so our next support is going to be 3.58, and after that it's going to be 3.20. Our resistance is the 9-day exponential moving average. I'll just move a little bit behind to see. No, I don't see any other resistance out there. With that said, let's look at PACB. PACB managed to break down from the line of support out here. It opened higher in the morning, but it dropped down, pushed by the 9-day exponential moving average. And our next support for here is going to be this one, this green line at 1.11. If we break that, I think it wouldn't be worth discussing PACB anymore. mRNA is down 4.20% as of today with a gap down, and I think we have no other history out here for mRNA. Let me see, let me just confirm if we have anything. We do have some history. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here, which is going to be a bottom support, and then I think we could have a support out here. So these are the two levels of support that I can see. Let us go back to where we were. So our next support is going to be 17.86. Following that, the next support will be 13.93. And on the top, the resistance is going to be 29.75. And also we should remember that the gap down, there is going to be resistance on the top as well. So we have two resistances out here, and they are going to hold us back, and these are the two supports that we have. MACD momentum are absolutely short, so it's looking very weak. ARCG has come down, it's traveling towards its destination, which happens to be somewhere around 16.96, and today we saw a huge drop. It was 2.70% drop. And for tomorrow, our support is going to be 19.57, and our resistance is going to be 22.00. It's a very strong resistance because it's combined with the 9-day exponential sitting at 21.88. So together they will present a great resistance. MACD is very bearish, and momentum is also dropped significantly. The chart is looking very weak. CRISPR Therapeutics continues to become more and more attractive. It has even fallen below the bear channel, and it still has got to go down because we have a target out here for it to reach 31.08. It's the bear flag target, and it's still viable, 31.23, approximately 31.2. So we could drop further, and this could be the bottom. So I'm just going to draw a line out here and mark it green so that you know that that's going to be the target, 31.15, and we could aim to bounce back, and we'll have a resistance which will be at 33.14. We'll check this tomorrow and see what happens. Editas continues to fall, and it rested on one of these supports earlier, but it broke through, and today it was not able to pierce through this support, through this resistance. Let me mark this in a thicker font. So this resistance was unbeatable today for Editas, and it managed to crawl below it at 1.13. MACD is very weak, momentum is also weak. I don't know what we're going to do with this stock. Maybe it is going the bluebird way, but it has got those IP rights and other things. But again, we have to talk about the FDA towards the end of this video. That will give you a sense of hopelessness that many people are seeing in the biotech space with the new FDA configuration. We have this gap down here for Iowa, and it's fallen below this diagonal line of resistance I'm just going to thicken this up so that you can see it clearly. That resistance has been broken. We are going to travel under it, and that will continue to be a resistance. And for tomorrow, our resistance is 3.33 unless we get some catalyst or a positive news. Grail is continuing to travel down this diagonal line of support from a previous bear channel, and it will continue to travel so. And I think tomorrow we will have very strong support at 24.40 because the horizontal line of support is just below that, and we are below all the exponential moving averages, and we have found multiple death crosses out here which are all bearish signs. MACD is short out and momentum is almost down to oversold. So I'm thinking that this chart is very weak and we're going to fall down further for tomorrow, and our support will be 24.02. Next, let's go on to Illumina. Illumina continues its trip downstream, and it has got a resistance at 80.60, which is this thick line, and I think it's 80.87, sorry. And then if we go down further, I don't know if we have any history of Illumina. Of course, we have some history out here, so I can find some support lines and draw them out for you. I would consider this to be a line of support, and then we sure have a line of support out here because there was a gap up, gap down. So these two supports are there. Do I find anything else? No. So that's all I got. Let's go back to our current times and read it out for you. Okay, so our next support is going to be 74.27, and after that we have a support at 58.77. I hope that things don't get that bad, but if it did, it would be a very good buying opportunity on Illumina. Ginkgo Bioworks continues to drop. It has dropped down 0.70%, and our next support is going to be out here at 4.59, and after that we have another support at 3.80. And as I said, we had this double top pattern which we wanted to complete. So if you see, this is a double top pattern, and we had projected that we could go all the way down to 5.29. We are at 5.66, just around 43 cents short, and that could happen tomorrow. And that could be one support, after which it could bounce off. If not, it's going to come down further. Next, let's look at Vertex. Vertex is still straddling this diagonal line of support. So for tomorrow, the support is going to be at 484.77. It will be quite strong because it will be followed by 481.61, which is the 50-day exponential moving average. And the resistance is going to be the 9-day and the 20-day exponential, both very strong because they are combined together at 495.99, somewhere in that range. And finally, we have Bluebird. I don't know what to make of Bluebird. I don't understand the voodoo pricing, so I'm going to let it go there. But I want to show you an article. This article came in CNBC. It's not a journalistic article as such. It's just that the journalist is quoting a report that was written by one of the leading analysts, Cantor Fitzgerald, and Lutnick was earlier CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, and he resigned from his post in order to become a member of President Trump's team. So these analysts are from Cantor Fitzgerald, his alma mater, and the things that they are saying are really very frank. They say, we call on the administration to reevaluate RFK Jr.'s role at HHS, pushing out one of the most trusted leaders of the FDA. This is a guy called Marks. Pushing out one of the most trusted leaders of the FDA to promote an anti-science agenda is a step too far for us. This was said by analysts Josh Schimmer and Eric Schmidt, and they also said HHS cannot be led by an anti-vax conspiracy theorist with inadequate training. And they also say an amateur scientist who doesn't appreciate the need for difficult public health policy decision, who struggles with the difference between causality and correlation, and who promotes unproven remedies at the expense of proven ones, is not the right person for the job on our view. And then they go on to say, this has nothing to do with stocks. Although the biotech tape may be roiled from Mark's resignation, that's not what matters. This is much bigger than that. We already had a needless measles death. It's time to end the narrative of just take vitamin A and give individuals the freedom to choose, all the while telling them vaccines cause autism. How many more people need to die from this absurdity, the Analysts wrote. So this is what has happened in one of the publications. Now, if you look at another aspect, right? We have this CNN article which says Florida debates lifting some child labor laws to fill job vacancies vacated by undocumented immigrants. Guys, I'm picking up these two articles basically to drive home a point. Many of you are living in first world, right? And you have not experienced these conditions. I was born and brought up in India. I left India at the age of around 32 to pursue my career abroad. And since then I have been out of India. But when I was growing up, India was a developing country, and we had the government trying to control child labor. And it was a very difficult task, and people were having babies because everybody was poor, and they thought more babies means more hands to work and they will bring in some money. And the government had to do a family planning program to say every family should have no more than 2 children, and they were incentivizing sterilization and all that stuff. But here we have Florida trying to loosen the child labor laws, and Elon Musk is going around saying that the birth rate is very low and people need to have more babies, right? So there is a bit of a regression here. And the RFK Jr. thing, right, about vaccines. We used to have World Health Organization and countries like in Europe and US giving money so that polio vaccines can be given, and polio could be eradicated, chickenpox vaccines could be given. So all those things was being done. Now, the very country that was part of that pioneering effort which got rid of polio from the face of the earth, it's going backwards. It's going backwards not only in terms of moving away from science, but also removing child labor law protections. So this is not a very good feel. And all of this underpins US dollar as a reserve currency. So if you have judges being partisan, where a particular president appoints some judges and they give a particular kind of ruling, and then if the same thing goes to another judge, they give a different kind of ruling, it erodes the confidence in the rule of law. And if you remove the FEC, and if you dilate the FTC and all that, and consumer protection boards, then we are literally turning United States into a third world country, and that cannot sustain the US dollar as a reserve currency. This is what I feel as a retail investor. Guys, what do you think? Please put that in the comment section, because we should not be biased. But the way I look at all these things, maybe I'm getting a news feed that gives me only this kind of outlook. If you are seeing something else, and if you feel something else, please put that in the comment section, because as investors, we should not have a political lens. We should look purely at the data. And that is becoming increasingly difficult with the way the policies are being rolled out. So with that said, my friends, it's very difficult being a genomic investor at this point of time. I feel your pain, and I hope to catch up with you again tomorrow. Please join me on the live stream at 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time. We have quite a few people joining in, and I also do on-the-spot ticker analysis at demand. If you have a ticker that you want me to do a quick analysis, I can give you the resistance and support levels and what's going to happen for that potentially in the given day. With that, my friends, I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Please just do me a favor. Please like the video so that it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm not selling you anything, and I'm not going to be asking you to buy anything from me. So all I need is your participation here as a retail investor, sharing your thoughts with me so that I also can become a better investor. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.